Okay, come on, guys, come on. Look at Heiko, hey? Just thirsty as heck, ready for the toast. Yeah. Although you may not think it to look at me, I am indeed the best man. I know these speeches can drag on forever, so I intend to make this one as short and as palatable as possible. Thank you for listening, and good night.
Good night.
Here we go.
Good night.
Digo.
Digo.
Okay, guys, let's thank all the parents and everyone involved as well, okay? We've got Judy. We've got Marty. Fresh tattoos on the back. You can't see them. They're behind his sweater. Ravens. Don't pat his back. I made that mistake already. Okay, we've got Deborah and Ray. Okay, those are Nicole's parents. Danielle, the maid of honor. You look great. But especially you, Nicole. You look amazing. You know, honestly. When I first saw you tonight, I was blown away. You are way out of his league. I don't know what you're thinking. No, I mean it's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Also in the wedding party we have Helen, my girl, beautiful. Vince and Corey, the brother. Everyone's looking great. Jared. So I started this speech by writing a list of wild times, the strip clubs, the opium dens, the dog fights, the times we hot-wired a Harrier jet. We've had some great times, Nicole and I. It's good to have Corey back. For those unaware, he's been working on a mission in Nicaragua to help build schools for orphan children. No, actually, Corey's been down south de-evolving into a sort of Magnum PI beach logo meets Sam Malone at Mardi Gras. Hard to tell if the Price-Morins are nervous today. They always sweat like this. Since I've known him, I can't tell if Jared is stressed out, drunk, happy. It doesn't matter. This is just his thing. Well, we were deciding what to wear, okay? So this is like literally 7 days ago, and we're still spitballing about what to wear as groomsmen. And the options were, you know, gray, blue. I got shafted on that, by the way. They all told me blue. They showed up in gray. So there were things like fedoras being tossed around, as you can see, bow ties, suspenders, vests. There was coats with tails, a cane. At one point there was an eye patch. It was like a wedding cliche cluster bomb thrown at me, and I was like, come on, man, we gotta pull this together. You can't wear a vest and suspenders together. And that's when I realized, Jared said, no, it's one or the other. Vest or suspenders, no suit jacket. And I was like, no suit jacket? Why would that be? And that's when I realized that Jared was just concerned about sweating. Really, it's a thing. When Jared first told me, you know, he said, Ken, I want you to be the best man, I'm getting married. I had already met Nicole at this point. I want to get married. And I said, dude, that's a terrible idea. No, 100%. I don't know if the love is reciprocal. I don't think that this is a good idea at all. I just don't see this working out. But he insisted that I be his best man. At first I was flattered. I was like, Corey, you know, you have Corey. Why wouldn't you choose Corey? But then I was like, you know, that's nice, man. You know, he trusts me. He trusts me to organize the stag. He trusts me to sort of get everything in line, to be his hype man, to sort of stand behind him. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe that's really nice. And then I realized that Corey had just declined. He's done this before. He's done this before, and he said that he would never do a stag again. And that was the first mistake I made, was saying yes to the stag. Really, that was a nightmare. I have a hard time organizing my outfits, so you can imagine how the stag went. I think it was about 7 days before the stag, and I still didn't have a place for us to go. I mean, of course, nobody knew that. I had thrown some Craigslist postings out and said, here's where we're staying. And anyways, somewhere along the way, I had pissed off the guy on the VRBO, and he just stopped contacting me altogether. And I had to, it's kind of a funny story. Basically, about 5 days before the stag, I get an email saying, hey man, I've decided to let you stay at my VRBO place because I did some research and we have some pretty cool mutual friends. I still don't know who those friends are or why he's stalking me. But anyways, we got the place. So, managing a stag, it's like herding cats. It's a total nightmare, especially these cats. Jared, your wedding present is $1,000 damage deposit. Actually, I'm just kidding. I kind of need that. So anyway, so Jared and I, how did we first meet? Him and I have talked about this. You know, it's kind of a blurry. Most of our life is a blur. But we came to the conclusion. We first met in Professor O'Reilly's modern prose fiction class at UVic. It was about 23 years ago. I was new. He was wild. He took me under his wing. He showed me a life outside of books, a life of mystery and adventure. I'm just kidding. There was no adventure. The truth is, we met on a beach in Ibiza, dancing the night away under a cascading symphony of hot bodies writhing into the night, hopelessly lost in a trance of beats and melody. That was the first night we made love, and it was amazing. I'm just kidding. It was only mediocre. No, instead we met at a party, sat in a park on 16th, and we were all messed up and yelling at the moon. That's a true story, That would really set the tone for the next 25 years of our friendship. Mostly the howling at the moon part. But it was that night that I watched him flex his true gift in life. Nicole, I'm sorry. Jared was somehow, against all odds, quite the ladies' man. He was never typically hot and sexy, but he had a way with the ladies. He was fearless, and he approached any woman he wanted, and usually somehow got the woman who was way out of his league. Case in point. Right? None of us understood how this was possible. We all watched as Heiko tried to emulate him for years, using the same fearless approach with much less success. So it couldn't have been his candor and confidence. What was it? Honestly, I wish I could tell you. It was like Loch Ness Monster, who killed JFK, why do women like Jared? But the Price-Morin trait stopped right there. Corey had to work for his women. The men came easily, but he had to work for his women. It's really the only thing he worked at all. See, Jared, Corey, and I, if you don't know, I actually met Corey through Jared, and we quickly replaced him immediately. It was like a brotherhood like nothing else. Right? Lovers, we moved in together, started a life. Then there was that one fight. I wish I could tell you more, but honestly, any story that Jared and I spitballed did not qualify for exceptional, so acceptable. So really it was, I'll give you a sort of big picture, 10,000 foot. It was a series of booze only fueled nights, followed by Hugh Grant movies. Usually in the spoon position. I was the little spoon. Speaking of movies, you know how you know if a movie truly sucks? Ask the Price-Morins if they like it, and if they thought it was funny, and if they say yes, then it sucked. In fact, of all of his nicknames, Jared, we call him Pops, Grandpa, because he's old and gross. But of all of his nicknames, I've got a new one for him, and it's DJ. And it's not because of his penchant for music. No, it's because of his dad jokes. Honestly, You say almost any line, and you can wait for it. You can count back from 5. Boom, dad joke. Trust me. A couple of fun facts about Jared, guys. His favorite color is green. His favorite all-time musician, Steve Ray Clark. Favorite breakfast food or eggs Benny. Favorite chipmunk is Simon. His favorite friend? Well, I mean, it's all in a name. Best man, Ekdahl. His middle name is cool on his driver's license. That's a fact. It's actually Coel, but somehow someone screwed something up, and I forgot to pay attention to your story earlier. But on his license is cool. So that was true. So the stag, really, there's nothing really to talk about besides this one particular thing where we had a fart machine. And it was really... It was basically we had a fart machine with a remote control, and everybody kind of clued in on it. There it is. Right? And so we had everyone convinced that Vince was able to fart on command, which was super funny for, 30 minutes before everybody figured it out, besides our idiot friend who isn't here, Tiffin Clark. And we kept him going. We strung him along for 2.5 days. And we could have kept him going for 2.5 years before we finally told him. At one point, he looked on in disbelief. We had him convinced that Vince had passed the power of fart on to me as he pushed up on my esophagus, and I pretended to blow a fart, and then Tiffin said, "Oh my God, he's teaching it! I found my unicorn!" So on that note, hey, I just want to pass out a couple of prizes from the stag, guys. Okay, I've got 2 prizes. Okay, they're fart machines. Vince? Okay? Fart machine number 1. Where's Ian Chew? Weirdest guy at the stag.
Yes!
Dude. Wow. Right? Prize number 2. 3rd time mentioned in the speech, Heiko.
Oh, God.
Grumpiest guy in the morning.
Yeah!
He actually left us on Monday morning. There you go.
Awesome.
Fart machine.
Thank you.
Second Philip. Another fart machine. Another fart machine.
Didn't you order like 25 online that day?
Okay, so the first time, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I know it's dragged on. Nicole, we first met Nicole at Coachella. It was pretty cool. It was basically like Nicole was wearing a Jared backpack. She moved around and Jared was behind her the whole time. It was like some sort of symbiotic Price-Morin nightmare that followed us around to different shows. And we had fun though, and we really got to know Nicole, and she was adorable. I mean, really, you're the best. And so, to wrap it up, I'm really happy for you guys. I just want to tell you right now, I started to think about celebrity names where, Benifer, where you mix the names, and I thought, what would be your celebrity name? Jackhole. Jackhole. Anyways, hey, Nicole, you've made Jared a better person, a more confident person. Jared works with me now, okay, and I'm so happy to have him. Jared and I, we've been friends for a long time, and I'm so happy that you're his wife now. I just want to tell one story that I think kind of summarizes Jared. When we were at Souk, and it was about 3.5 feet of snow on the highway, picture this, and a friend of mine slammed a door on my finger, and the finger shot into the air and hit Jared in the forehead and landed on the ground. And so there's, choose your own adventure. There's lots of different options that you can do here. The guy who slammed the door ran to bed and slammed the door and and was like, "I hate you." But Jared stole Torrance's SUV keys.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And drove me to the hospital and waited for 10 hours with me at the hospital while I had my finger I want to say sewed back on, but really, it's just kind of a weird thing stumped now.
Where's my nub?
Anyways, that's the kind of guy Jared is, Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're with him. He's my best friend, and I wish you guys all the best. You know, hey, I wish I had a glass. Hey guys, to the bride and groom, Jared and Nicole Price-Morin, I love you both.